I'm Beatrice Faisman. Our top story, the wintry weather has wreaked havoc on the roads across the GTHA, with provincial police responding to around 200 crashes in the last 24 hours. The collisions happening in various sections of the 400 series highways. Thankfully, most of them have been minor, with mostly minor injuries. The OPP also say about 150 vehicles got stuck in snowbanks and ditches, with many drivers having trouble navigating the on and off ramps to the highways.
Fortunately not. We did have a couple of rollovers that certainly got our attention pretty quickly, but they ended up being relatively minor with no serious injuries. Again, we had some jackknife tractor trailers kind of in the overnight at the height of the storm session when we still had a lot of snow and blowing snow and very reduced visibility as well. And so again, those often take a lot more time to clean up. But again, certainly fortunate that there were no serious injuries reported in any of those.
And a driver is in hospital after a 3-vehicle crash on the 401. The OPP sharing video of the crash that happened earlier tonight. It involved 2 tractor trailers and a passenger vehicle in the westbound lanes of Highway 401 at 418 in Clarington. A driver was taken to hospital. Police say thankfully their injuries are non-life-threatening. Drivers are being warned about lane closures, as a full cleanup could take several hours. And the storm, of course, having a big impact on the transit system tonight, especially on Line 1. The transit agency saying there's no subway service between Shepherd West and St. Clair West because of the conditions. Shuttle buses are running instead. There's also no subway service between Bloor-Yonge and Eglinton stations. The TTC have preemptively taken 56 bus stops out of service yesterday in anticipation of the storm. Stops impacted by the service changes will have posted signs at each location describing where the closest in-service stop is located.
Out on the street, of course, we are all hands on deck out there clearing snow as much as we can, ploughing, sending our salt trucks out. We are seeing lots of delays out there, particularly on the streetcar network. A lot of detours because of cars that are in the way of streetcar tracks. So to your point in the intro there, for motorists, please, if you can avoid being out on the road today, avoid it if possible.
Go Transit also has adjusted its train schedules all weekend because of the winter storm. Lakeshore West trains that usually start or end in Oakville are out of service. There's no change to regular service for customers between Bronte and Niagara Falls. Additionally, Lakeshore East trains will run every 30 minutes between Union and Oshawa. 4 added Kitchener line trains will operate as many riders head home for winter reading week. It has not been easy getting around the city today, even for those walking around. CP24 spoke with some people out on Queen Street about the storm.
Well, I feel good and bad. It's good because it's back to a normal winter, but bad obviously is self-explanatory because you can't walk anywhere.
What's it like walking around?
Oh, it's terrible. I'm getting a lot of work out of my muscles, though.
Well, I'm from Ottawa, so I guess it just feels like my childhood.
Any tips for us Torontonians?
Well, snow clearing helps, but I mean, otherwise, just, grin and bear it.
It's crazy out here. I'm from Nova Scotia, though, so this is nothing. That's fine.
So this is pretty easy for you to get around?
Yeah, it's fine. It's not too bad out here,
I love skating. I love skiing. I prefer this over, 35 degrees and sun, so I'm having a good day.
Because I come from a place where we don't really have snow. So, yeah, I really love it. Loving the cold as well.
CTV's Allison Hurst was out at Victoria Park in Danforth earlier this evening and has more on what the city plans to do with all that snow.
There will be dump trucks. They've got dump sites set up and ready to go. And once they know that the plowing and the salting and the bulk of this storm has passed and they are ready to sort of switch gears, that is what's going to happen. They're going to be trucking this snow out of the area into these recognized dump sites and parking it all there. And we are going to get an update tomorrow morning from the city on just sort of what those next steps are, how things went this weekend, and what we can all expect leading into the next week.
That update, by the way, from city officials coming at 10 o'clock Monday morning. We'll have that live for our viewers as well. Always, when there's a snowstorm like this, there's impact to the airport. Nearly a quarter of all arrivals and departures at Pearson were canceled today. We spoke with an official there about how the airport prepared for it.
There's a lot that happens in the lead up to these events. So we're talking to our stakeholders, we're monitoring forecasts, and of course we're even treating the airfield even before the snow begins to fall. And then once that snow falls, we're out in full force. We have over 160 pieces of snow clearing equipment that have been deployed between our airfield maintenance facility and our central de-icing facility. So really it's an all hands on deck situation.
And the storm did shut down several major attractions in the city today. The Toronto Zoo was closed because of the snow. Zoo officials saying they were proactive to keep animals, staff, volunteers, and guests safe. The zoo says it plans to be open for Family Day. And the Royal Ontario Museum also shut down today because of the weather. Those with pre-purchased tickets, they got refunded. The ROM will reopen Monday morning at 10 a.m. for Family Day. And it was busy at Earl Bales earlier today. Skiers and snowboarders will be able to take to the slopes once again tomorrow, and it'll be good with all that fresh powder. The Ski and Snowboard Center will be open on Family Day, with slopes opening for visitors 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. The city-run center offers equipment and lessons, and it remains open until March 16th. Also, here's what else is open tomorrow. The CN Tower, Ripley's Aquarium, Casa Loma, and the AGO. You can expect the usual closures for the holiday, including the LCBO and beer store, most municipal offices, banks, post offices, and libraries.